You think you know what's happening in Ukraine? Prepare to see the conflict through a revolutionary new lens. For decades, the Kremlin has perfected an insidious propaganda machine. A weapon as potent as any missile, designed to twist truth, sow discord, and fracture international resolve. But what if a nation under siege found a way not just to resist this onslaught of falsehoods, but to actively dismantle it, piece by insidious piece? We're pulling back the curtain on Ukraine's secret weapon against Russian disinformation, their masterful, multifaceted communication strategy. This isn't just about winning hearts and minds. It's about defining reality itself. An understanding it is critical for you in today's increasingly complex information battlefield. From the earliest tremors of the 2014 annexation of Crimea to the devastating full-scale invasion of February 2022, Russia launched a multi-front assault. While tanks rolled across borders and missiles rained from the sky, a parallel war was waged in the digital realm and across global media. The Kremlin's objective was clear: not only to conquer territory, but to capture narratives. They spun elaborate tales of denazification, portraying Ukraine as an aggressor, fabricating atrocities to justify their invasion, and attempting to destabilize Western democracies. This wasn't merely misinformation. It was a sophisticated, state-sponsored weaponization of information, aiming to demoralize Ukrainians, to confusion among allies, and manipulate global public opinion. The sheer scale and audacity of this disinformation campaign seemed insurmountable. Yet, against this tidal wave of falsehoods, Ukraine forged an unexpected, incredibly effective shield and sword. Their initial response was rooted in immediate, unfiltered truth and defiant authenticity. President Volodymyr Zelenskyy famously refusing evacuation offers with the declaration, "I need ammunition, not a ride," transformed from a comedian into a wartime leader. His nightly addresses, often filmed informally from the streets of Kyiv with a smartphone, became a global phenomenon. These weren't polished political speeches from behind a desk. They were raw, defiant calls to action, connecting directly with audiences worldwide. This personal, direct communication bypassed traditional media filters, instantly discrediting Russian claims of his escape or Ukraine's imminent collapse, and rallied unprecedented international support. But Ukraine's counter-narrative extended far beyond presidential addresses. They rapidly mobilized a decentralized, agile army of digital warriors. Ordinary citizens, tech experts, journalists, and activists leveraged every available tool: social media platforms like Twitter, Telegram, and TikTok, encrypted messaging apps, and even gaming communities. They shared real-time footage of Russian aggression, meticulously documented war crimes, exposed troop movements, and debunked propaganda narratives often within minutes of their broadcast. This grassroots network transformed every smartphone into a broadcasting station, ensuring that the unfiltered human cost of the invasion, the destroyed homes, the fleeing refugees, the civilian casualties was seen, felt, and remembered globally, directly challenging Russia's sanitized and often fabricated version of events. One of Ukraine's most potent and surprising weapons in this information war has been the strategic deployment of humor and satire. Against the grim, brutal backdrop of invasion, memes, short viral videos, and witty retorts became incredibly powerful tools. They mercilessly mocked Russian pretensions, deflated their perceived military might, and highlighted the absurdity of their justifications. This psychological warfare not only bolstered national morale and fostered a sense of unity among Ukrainians, but it also resonated deeply and unexpectedly internationally. It transformed Ukraine's struggle into a relatable human story, making their resilience infectious and turning rigid, fear-mongering Russian propaganda into a global laughingstock, effectively disarming its power to intimidate. Beyond digital tactics, Ukraine has mastered the art of leveraging tangible, undeniable evidence. Consider the powerful symbolism of displaying destroyed Russian tanks in European capitals, transforming battlefield wreckage into stark visual indictments of Russia's aggression and military failures. Furthermore, their systematic approach to interviewing captured Russian soldiers, often allowing them to call their families back home, serves multiple purposes. These raw, unscripted testimonials provided verifiable evidence of Russian troop movements, morale issues, and often their profound misunderstanding of their mission. These undeniable facts serve as concrete proof, making it incredibly difficult for the Kremlin to maintain its narrative of limited losses, a special military operation, or a willing Ukrainian populace. Russia's propaganda machine relies heavily on controlling information flow within its own borders, creating a tightly sealed media bubble. Yet, even within this heavily censored environment, Ukraine has found innovative ways to penetrate. Utilizing VPN technologies, supporting independent media outlets operating from exile, and launching direct appeals to the Russian populace through social media, Kyiv consistently attempts to break through the state-controlled narrative. While challenging and often dangerous, every crack in the Kremlin's information wall represents a strategic victory. It plants seeds of doubt, fosters internal questioning, and slowly, but surely, erodes trust in official narratives, making the Russian population less susceptible to further manipulation. The West's coordinated response to amplify and verify. Ukraine's communication efforts has been crucial to their global success. Governments, international organizations, and reputable news outlets have actively worked to counter Russian disinformation through official statements, fact-checking initiatives, and by prominently featuring Ukrainian voices and perspectives. This collaborative effort demonstrates that in the information age, a united front is not just beneficial, but absolutely necessary to effectively combat state-sponsored falsehoods. Sanctions against Russian state media channels in many countries further curtailed the reach of Moscow's propaganda, creating more space for Ukraine's message to be heard. This sophisticated counter-narrative warfare is a profound testament to the evolving nature of modern conflict. It definitively shows that battles are no longer exclusively won with tanks and missiles, but with truth, wit, agility, and the power of human connection. Ukraine's strategic communication efforts are already being studied as a blueprint for how smaller, less powerful nations can effectively fight back against larger, more established adversaries with extensive propaganda machines. They have turned what might seem like a vulnerability, being the victim of aggression, into a unique strength, proving unequivocally that authenticity and transparency can indeed defeat artifice and deception, even against a determined, well-funded aggressor. As the war continues to rage, the fight for truth remains as vital and contested as the battle for territory. Ukraine's success in dismantling Putin's propaganda isn't merely a story about this specific conflict. It's a powerful and urgent lesson for every democracy and citizen facing the rising tide of disinformation globally. It underscores why critical thinking, supporting independent journalism, and understanding the insidious tactics of informative warfare are no longer optional skills, but essential competencies for the survival of informed societies, shaping the future of global discourse long after the last bullet is fired. If you found this analysis insightful, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next deep dive into the conflict.